I'm going to walk you through how I personally set up my budget inside of Monarch Money for 2026. Hey there, I'm Brittany Flammer, a certified financial coach and the creator of Monarch Money 101. I am following the steps I recommend everyone uses to set up Monarch Money. You can watch an overview of those steps right up here, but I have screen recorded myself setting up my video in real time explaining why I do what I do. It took me about 40 minutes total to do everything, and I will include timestamps if you want to jump ahead to the next section. If you are a new user interested in Monarch Money, use my link to get 50% off your first year. If you need more help with Monarch Money, my course Monarch Money 101 walks you through everything, troubleshoots a lot of different topics. The first step is linking your bank accounts and renaming them. When I did this, it took me about 4 minutes to do. I do not have any accounts linked, so it's prompting me here to connect something to get started. So I'm going to click that, and I'm just going to search for my bank, and I've got Wells Fargo. So I'm going to type in all of my login information to link and to sync the accounts. Now, I've got multi-factor authorization, so it's going to take a minute. It'll send me a code to either my email or my phone, and I have to verify that it's me, look it up. It takes a minute or two, but once you get all of this entered in, it is going to sync the accounts. It'll import the transactions. I can choose which accounts I want it to include, and then it's going to import all those transactions, categorize them. It takes a minute or two. And then it will sync and bring everything into Monarch. Now we have 2 accounts, so I'm going to go ahead to the top right and add another account. We have 2 bank accounts with 2 credit cards, and I'm going to do the exact same thing for our second bank and credit card. Type in the username and password, verify that it's me, and then it will sync that second account. So I'm doing this in real time, not speeding through, so that you can see exactly what I do. So it's kind of boring. Skip through the next section if you want. We have some of our kids have accounts. We don't need those imported, so I'm just choosing the accounts that I want. And once they are all in here, I'm going to edit the accounts. So now we've got all of the accounts linked with these 2 financial institutions. I'm going to click on an account, and I want to go up and edit it so that I can rename it. I want to rename them all. I don't remember the numbers. I want to name them whatever I call them in my head. So we call this one main checking. I'm going to go through and do that. It's the exact same process for every account. Just click on the account and edit, and then type in the name you want it to be called. Once you're done, save it. I'm going to do that for each account. I might speed through this so you don't have to sit through all of them. Next step, customizing your categories. This took me roughly 10 minutes to do. So we'll go up to the settings tab, that little gear icon, and click on categories, and you will see all of them. I already started with 1 or 2, but if you want to edit one, you just click on it. So this business income, I click on it, I could type it, find a new icon, and then save it. I don't need to change those. The income categories all look pretty good, but let's go through the expenses. And I can rename the group. So I like to do mine by the boring bills. That's what I like to call them. Call yours whatever you want. And then gifts is not part of our monthly boring bills. So I'm just going to drag that down to a different group. Charity, we call it tithing. So I'm going to rename it to tithing because that's just what we call it. And then we'll click on each one. We don't have a car payment, so I'm gonna get rid of it. So you can't delete, so we disable, but there are some transactions there. So I'm just gonna move all transactions to the uncategorized. Same with this category. Disable it because we don't use it. Auto maintenance is not a monthly boring expense. So we will click on this one, disable it, but for every category, if there are transactions that I'm trying to get rid of them, I'm just putting them into uncategorized. Parking and tolls, we don't use this, so I'm going to disable, move those transactions to uncategorized. And I'm just going to do that and drag up any of the categories that are part of our boring bill. So our garbage bill, we pay monthly, but it's our city bill and it actually has our garbage and our water on it. So I'm gonna rename it. Then I'll go down, find the water bill, and I can get rid of that one because it's included in our city bill. If there were transactions, I would send them to city bill, but there are none, so I'm just gonna disable it. Gas and electric, move that up. And I will rename it. Ours are separate. Our electricity and our gas are separate, so I will separate them. You can also choose the group it goes in right here, so you don't have to drag it. It'll appear up there. And I'm going to add our gas or our natural gas and find an icon. We'll do fire, I think. And I'll call it natural gas to separate it from our car gas. And you can rearrange them however you want. Our mortgage is one of those bills. I like to put things in order of kind of how we pay in my brain. Our donations first, then our mortgage, then our utilities, and just keep rearranging. We don't have rent, so we're gonna disable that. Those transactions, we're gonna move to uncategorized and disable it. When you disable, it grays it out. It still shows up, it's not deleted, but it won't show up when you're doing your budgeting. So it just kind of cleans it up. You can always reactivate them if you want. I'm gonna rename this sinking funds. And these are for your regular expenses. So home improvement, but I like to call it house maintenance because it's not really improvement. It's just fixing things that break. And I'll save that. Gifts is another one. Scroll down, internet. We don't have cable, so I'll just call it internet. That's one of those monthly boring bills. Our phone bill is actually a sinking fund. We have prepaid phones. We're gonna delete this category, but there is a group or a category in it, so I have to move it to a different group. So I'll move that category to other. Groceries, restaurants, we just like to call it eating out. Save that. Coffee shops, we don't actually show, whoops. Coffee shops, we don't actually shop at coffee shops, so I'm going to disable it. If we did, I personally would put it in eating out. Vacations, one of those sinking funds we save up for. Entertainment and recreations, one of those variable expenses. So I'm going to rename this category variable bills because we have them every month, but they vary month to month. We don't have pets, so we'll disable this one. Fun money will drag up. We set aside money each month for fun money, my husband and I. So this one we'll rename to my fun money. We'll move it. We use it as a sinking fund because we set aside money each month. My husband never spends his. He saves it up for like a year or two and then buys something. So we'll relabel his fun money and my fun money. And we will delete this, but we have to move that category, so we'll move it to other. Shopping, clothing will drag. We save up for clothing purchases. Furniture, we're gonna disable. That transaction we will move to uncategorized. At the end, we will make sure we go through all uncategorized transactions. Electronics, we're gonna get rid of. Shopping, a lot of people like to keep their shopping category. Children's activities, we're going to, I call it kids extracurriculars. I don't know why, but that's what my brain does. So I'm gonna label it as extracurriculars. And it is a sinking fund, but I'm not worrying about rollovers right now. I'll show you those a little bit later. Children, we can delete this group, but we have to send the category somewhere. So we're gonna send it to other. Student loans, we will disable. Education we can disable, send those categories to uncategorized. Shopping, some people like to keep. I like to specify and be a little bit more specific, so I'm going to disable, and we will have a lot to categorize there, but I'm going to send it all to uncategorized for now. Disable the category, and then I can delete that group and send those to the other. Education, same things. I can delete it, send those to the other. Health and wellness, we use an HSA account, so I am going to delete those because our HSA account's not linked. Financial, insurance, we pay life insurance monthly, so I will drag that up to the boring bill, and I'll relabel it life insurance. Life, not life, or I could call it death insurance, I guess. But auto payment, we don't have an auto payment, but we do have car insurance. So I'm just going to rename it and choose the icon and save it, but I didn't activate it, so it's still grayed out. If I want it to show up in my budget, I have to activate it again. And we'll drag up investments. We invest for retirement each month. We'll rename that retirement, or mostly it's Roth IRA, so maybe we could call it Roth IRA. For now, I'll just stick with retirement. We don't have any of these, need any of these categories, so I'm just gonna delete them or disable them, but we have to send them somewhere. Childcare, we can disable that. This is tedious and boring, but once you've done it, you don't have to do it again. Just disable every category that you don't use, send it to uncategorized if there are transactions in there, and then delete the groups you don't want. Drag and drop. Just repeat, rinse and repeat. It's boring, but I promise it's important to do this before you go through your transactions. This uncategorized section will have a lot of transactions initially, but we will go through them, and don't worry, they will get fixed relatively easily. I like to keep miscellaneous. Once I've got everything categorized, I'll get rid of the uncategorized category. In the meantime, just disabling everything I don't need. The third step is correctly categorizing your transactions. I went through and did almost 2 months to keep it short, and it took me about 15 minutes. Let's go to the transactions tab, open it up, and your most recent transactions will appear up top. We're just gonna go through each one, and if it's not correct, we're gonna click on the category. So this one I click on, this was some kids' school fees. So we're gonna choose child extracurriculars. And we'll just keep going through. Lots of transfers. Walmart, this was Christmas expenses. So if I click on it, I don't have a Christmas category, so I'm going to create a new one. And I'll call it Christmas. And I will find an icon that we like. and choose sinking funds because it's an irregular expense. We'll save that. And I'm just gonna go through online transfers. Walmart was at Christmas. Walmart, this was grocery. And most of our Walmart purchases are groceries. So I'm debating, maybe I should create a rule. So if I do this and apply it, I can apply it to all 66, but I wanna check to see what the transactions are. So I can go over, now there's no preview changes. If I select it, it'll let me preview and see them. It's gonna change my Christmas one, but all the rest look like they are groceries. So I'm gonna go ahead and save that. And then I'm just gonna have to go back and recategorize that one as Christmas. So I'll scroll through, everything looks good. Orem, I'm not sure about this one, so I'm gonna click on the little carrot icon and it will give me more info. So I can see the store is NPS. So that was not gas. That was, we went to a store and let our kids buy some things after Thanksgiving. So that was entertainment and recreation. Cash back, that was income because it was cash back from our credit card. So recategorize that. House maintenance, groceries. That Cal Ranches was house maintenance. Venmo, this purchase $180. This was my sister bought stuff and we were paying them back for Christmas. So I'll categorize it as Christmas. Bunch of transfers between accounts. Click the carrot icon to get more info. You can see if you're not sure which account it's going to and from. This SoFi I transferred to pay for part of our internet from my business. So that will go towards internet. So the full bill I pay from this will counteract part of the bill. And if it's $40, if it's SoFi and the amount equals $40, then I want it to get categorized as SoFi. And because I pay the full bill from our main checking, but then my business covers part of the expense. So I want it to get categorized as that internet. So I'll just keep scrolling through. That's not business income, that's my husband's income. I'll create a rule because it always comes in that way and apply it to the existing transactions. Just keep going through. I do have a lot of transfers. Most people probably won't. Just keep scrolling through. This Venmo was, we paid for a car mechanic to look at something on our car, so that's auto maintenance. And this city bill, I always want to get categorized as city bill, so I will create a rule and apply it to the existing transactions. This was not tithing. This, if I look back, that was cash back from our credit card, so that's income. Big deal, that was groceries. That's usually groceries. So I will go ahead and create a rule, apply it to all of the existing ones. The more rules you create, the easier it will be to go further back faster. This was some deodorant or soap, which we lump in with groceries, so I'll apply that. Sam's is always going to be groceries. Amazon, if I go down to help and support, I can get info on how to download the Amazon extension browser so it can sync your Amazon account with your Monarch Money account. It is not perfect, but if you have lots of purchases at Amazon, it can be really helpful. So you just search for it, if you click there, it's going to give you the instructions, show you how to download it, take you to it. Really helpful. It doesn't work well if you do lots of returns and use Amazon, like your store credit, Amazon credit through returns. But if you purchase stuff on Amazon and return it to your credit card or bank account, then it works really well. Costco, this would have been some clothing I returned. Costco generally is groceries for us. So I'm gonna click groceries. Amazon. My daughter, this is returns. My daughter went to Sadie's dance and was purchasing costumes, and she bought a ton of stuff because she wasn't sure what would work, and then we returned most of it because she only used a few things. So most of this is kids extracurricular. There's like a week in November where she ordered like, I swear, 10 different things, and luckily 2 of them worked out. The Venmo, that was $20. If I click on the carrot, Venmo doesn't really show us much more. I don't have a ton of Venmo, so I don't link it, but we do want to categorize it. So this was, I think, for a tennis fee. And then all these refunds are kids extracurricular again. Typically, that's not what our Amazon purchases are, is just because of this dance. I'm not going to create a rule for it. The online transfer, you can see $500 from one account to another account. Amazon. I need to go look at Amazon, so maybe I should have linked my Amazon account. This is for face stuff for my kids. Northern Utah, that is soccer, so that's kids extracurricular. Amazon, that was a purchase my daughter made for the dance. This was me. I got a speeding ticket, the first one ever in my life, so that's miscellaneous. This, I'm not sure what this is. It wasn't tithing, I know that, but if I click on the carrot, I can see it was my card auto pay. So it was our credit card auto pay. So I'll recategorize that as credit card payment. Electricity, groceries, another Amazon. I need to go back and look at my Amazon account. That one was kids extracurricular. So if I click on it, I'll recategorize it. If you're not sure on one, go look back or give it your very best guess. I'm clicking on that. I'm pretty sure that was the kids extracurricular. Once again, kids extracurriculars, lots of kids extracurriculars. Kids get expensive. Costco would have been groceries because it was uncategorized. So I want to create a rule now. So if it's Costco, I want it to go to groceries. But if I preview the changes, some of those are gas. So the Costco gas comes in as gas. The rest of Costco just comes in as uncategorized. So I don't want to create a rule because that'll ruin all of my gas purchases. So it's nice to preview. So I'm going to exit out of that. I am not going to apply it to all of the existing transactions. So I'll just keep going. House maintenance, eating out, groceries. Ooh, this was tennis lessons. We're prorated because we started partway through the month. Costco, here's an uncategorized one, which is groceries. So the Costco gas, so I want to create a rule because the Costco gas gets categorized correctly, but if it's Costco and the category comes in as uncategorized, then I want it to get categorized as groceries. So now it's only 29 transactions. So all the gas ones were kept. This is just the grocery ones. This Venmo was piano, but I forgot. We pay piano every month and I forgot to create a category. So I'm going to label it piano, find an emoji that we like. And then I choose which group. I want this to go to boring bills because we pay it every month. So I will create a rule. If it's Venmo and the amount is $100, then it will get categorized as piano, and I'll apply it to the existing transactions. This was actually clothing. Just keep scrolling through. Fidelity, this is retirement investments. So I'll recategorize that as retirement, and I will create a rule and apply it to the existing transactions. Just scroll through. Now, mortgage, that is car insurance, not life insurance. And I will create a rule because, whoops, all of our USAA is car insurance. And I have to get out of that before I can, there we go. save it. And the transfers, I'm not worrying about. Okay, so I have gone through one full month. I'm just gonna stop there to show you what it looks like. Step number 4 is actually creating your budget. This took me about 5 minutes. To create the budget, we'll go to the budget tab and you can see here the different groups I have. I'm in category budgeting right now. You can expand them and collapse them, but I have the other group and I don't want that. So I'm gonna go up to my settings, go to the categories, and I'm gonna delete this group. I'm gonna reorganize so that I see my variable expenses first, and then I'm going to delete. But I have categories and I have to go somewhere, so they're all disabled, so I won't see them, but I have to move them somewhere. So I'm gonna move them to my variable bills and delete it. So now when I go back to my budget, it doesn't show up. So there's just less stuff in the budget. So what I'm going to do is go on the budget category for my husband's income, and if I click on it, I can see the history for the past 6 months. So if I click on any one of those months or on the average, it's automatically going to populate, and that little button means it's going to take it to 0 for the future. If I deselect it, it'll keep it at the number it's at. So I can click on each one and see. Other income, I have some really high numbers a few months, and I don't think those are accurate. So I can go off of last month, or I can click on the category. It'll take me to the cash flow, and I can look and see. In November, those first 2 look good. That bottom one is actually a transfer. So I can recategorize it. And then this month, that health equity is from our HSA. I paid for something. I didn't have my HSA card, so I paid with my credit card and then got reimbursed. So if I were being accurate, I would categorize the expense as medical and then the reimbursement as medical, but I don't have a medical category, so I'm just cheating and creating a transfer. And then most of these are transfers. I just wanted to look. So if I go back to my budget, my other income should automatically populate. It's not, so it did here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna refresh it real quick. Usually it automatically populates immediately, but I'll click refresh. Now when I go to the budget, it should be updated. Whoops, wrong category. So if I go to other income, it has populated. So I can click on that month, or I can always just type in a number and it will adjust my budget. So now I'm gonna go onto the boring bills, and I try to click on one and it's not letting me. So if I go over to settings, I accidentally chose budgeting by group. So I want by category when I get started. So I can set a budget for each category. If you want, you can switch it to group in the future. But if I click on each one, tithing, if I look at that, I have some really high months that I know those aren't accurate. So I'm just gonna go with last month. Mortgage is the same, that's right. It's changed a little bit. Electricity, I'm just gonna go with the average. Natural gas, I don't have any, but I know that our natural gas bill is $55 a month. I can click on it to see the transactions from the previous months. Go on to city bill. Gas, this is gas for the car. I'm just gonna go with the average. Internet, I'm gonna go with the average. Life insurance is $11, but then in October it's really, really high. When I think about it, that's because my husband's life insurance we pay in October once a year. Mine's monthly, his, so I'm gonna go with the average. Car insurance, I'm going with last month's. Piano, we pay $100 every month. We just didn't over the summer. Then I'll move on to variable expenses, and make sure you click to see the unbudgeted ones. Groceries, ooh, I think we'll go with the average. Eating out. November last month seems really high, so maybe I'll click on that and look. And yeah, we ate out Chipotle, Zupas, Culver's. My husband took a church group of kids there and he will get reimbursed. But the rest we did do. So we'll go back to the budget. And like I said, it should automatically populate. It's going kind of, you have to click on it. It's going kind of slow today. So if I want to, I can refresh. Usually it populates on its own right away though. Okay, so I click on it now and it has updated. So we'll just go with, we can go with the average. Entertainment, recreation, we'll go with last month's. Miscellaneous, I would normally go with last month's, but that was, we're just gonna go with the average because that was a speeding ticket. So I know uncategorized, obviously I have a lot that I did not categorize in August. So I'm gonna put it 0 because I'm going off of last month, which was categorized. Now we'll go to sinking funds, house maintenance, click on that. The last couple of months are low, but this summer we finished up our garage addition. So we were spending a ton. So that's accurate, but we don't normally spend that much. So I'm not gonna go with the average. I think I'll probably just go with last month's. Or I could type in a number. Okay, we'll do the average. My fun money. There aren't any transactions, but I set aside 25 for my fun money, and we've set aside 50 for my husband's fun money because it also includes some bike maintenance. Christmas, we're budgeting we're going to set aside 200 in December for Christmas. Gifts, we set aside 75. Car maintenance, we set aside 125. Travel, vacation, we set aside 200. Because I haven't gone through more than 1 month, it's not all accurate. Christmas or clothing, we set aside 100. Children's activities, 750. Retirement, we contribute last month, that's what we normally contribute to, 950. So if I look at there, I'm over by 865. So let's go through and see if there are any changes. So I did average, but my husband's got a raise. So he's making, I'm pretty sure we can guarantee on 7,200 a month. That it might be more, but I'm pretty sure we can guarantee that. I could go ahead and enter in some business income. Or now we can go through our expenses. Just look around to see if there's anywhere that we think any income we could increase. So I do make money off of my business. I just did not categorize any transactions from business for last month. So I could enter in how much I think I will make. So 350, I always make at least 350. Internet, I'm going to change to 45 because the bill's 85, but my business pays for a portion of it. And then life insurance, monthly we pay $11. And then my husband's life insurance, we set aside money. So that should be in a sinking fund. So we will create a category for his life insurance. But first I'm going to keep going through these transactions. Entertainment, let me click on those to look at them. August, all of those entertainments, those are actually soccer expenses. So that would come out of kids' extracurricular. I probably could create a rule, but I didn't. July, if I click on July to see those, that is actually entertainment and recreation. So we'll leave that. So go back to our budget and just look a little bit closer at each category, see if there are any changes we could make. Okay, so I'm debating on life insurance. Okay, Okay, so now I'm going to turn all of our sinking funds into rollovers. So if I click on each category, I can toggle on to be a rollover, and I had some money set aside for house maintenance already. So at the beginning of the month, I had $220, and then I budgeted, we put $200 into it. So I'm going to update that to $200. So now you can see I have $420 available because it's taking what I already had, rolling it over. So let's turn it on for each of these categories and type in the starting balance. We had $130 in our gifts. So now I have $205 available. Car maintenance, turn the rollover on. You can also do this in the settings when you're setting up your categories. I just didn't. So for car maintenance, we had $475 to start off with at the beginning of the month. Vacation, let's turn that on. We had $2,125 set aside. Phone, we had $400, so we'll turn it on. We had $400 set aside. If you don't have anything set aside, just leave the starting balance as $0. Now, my fun money, I had a whopping, it's already toggled on, but I had a whopping $3 from previous months. My husband had a bunch. He has his own checking account for his fun money, so I can go over to the account section and look to see what his balance is. So he has $2,766. So I'll go back over to the budget and go to that category, his fun money. Click on it. It's already turned on, but I have to do the math because it adds in this month, whatever you budget this month. So I have to do some math. 2,716 plus we transferred 50 over. So now he's at 2,766. Clothing for me, or just clothing, I'll toggle on the rollover. I don't want to hide it. And add in our balance of $18. Kids extracurriculars, we were at $0. We drained it last month, so we can still turn on the rollover, but we don't have anything in there to start with. In retirement, we don't want to roll over because we just want to make sure we're contributing every month. Christmas is already turned on, so we're good to go. But we're still over 156. So I keep debating on the life insurance. Oh, tithing. Okay, so we'll go to life insurance. We pay $11 monthly for my term life insurance, and then we pay my husband's annually, so we set aside some money each month. So let's create a sinking fund for that. I just forgot when I was setting up. Go down to the sinking funds, create a new category. My husband's life insurance. We'll rename it, and then we'll do the same umbrella that we use for my life insurance. And we set aside $68 each month so that we have enough to pay his. So for the budgeted amount, I will type in 68. So we're still over $87. So my business income fluctuates, so we're just going to count on nothing for my business, and then we'll subtract how much we're paying in tithing because that's just on my husband's income. What we've paid the past few months includes my income, so we'll pay more than that in tithing, but we're still over 17. So groceries I have control over, so I could drop that by $17, but let me take a look to see if they're all accurate. I scroll through those Walmart, Costco. I'm sure there's stuff in there that is not groceries, but I kind of just round. It's not perfect. And I include our household stuff with our groceries, so that's just easier for me. So everything looks like it probably actually is groceries. So I'm just gonna leave it. We'll go back to the budget. We're gonna see if we can cut back on our groceries. And rather than trying to do math, which I should have done, I'm just gonna go with 1,000. And then we have an extra 16. So I could switch our groceries to 1,016, but I'm just gonna leave it here for now. And the final step of reviewing your budget and your cash flow took me about 2 minutes. To review it, I like to look at the cash flow. So there's a chart up top, that's by the month. Green's your income, red is the expenses. The savings rate here is just they automatically calculate it based on how much income and expenses you have. But if you click on a month, we'll go back a month because this month we don't have very many transactions. You click on November, we can scroll down and we can visually see our spending for each category. So I really like this to see what you're spending your money on. So we can see our tithing, mortgage, groceries are maybe a little high. Our kids' extracurriculars is really high. We've spent a lot on Christmas. And if I click on a category, it will show me the transactions for that month. So great visual to look at and to see where, if you're over budget, where you need to cut back, or if there's making sure your spending is lined up with your values and what you want to be spending your money on. Another thing I like to look at is the report. So by default, it'll show you the Sankey diagram. You can choose the custom dates this month, this year, customize it. We'll go with, see this month, there's not very much to look at so far. So we'll go with last month. And it's going to show you all the income and your expenses as a total. And if you scroll through, you can, the savings is just default, what's left over. They're going to look at each category and you can click on it and it will show you the transactions. Or you can go ahead up top. I also like to just look at the spending all by itself. You can scroll through different charts, but then the spending up top. Oops, something's wrong. Let's refresh it. And you can look at the different charts there, but we'll refresh it. Like I said, connection must be slow today. It's not liking the refresh. It's in this month and it is going to show me a visual. So this is under spending and I still have last month selected. So this is another visual. You can look at the different charts. I like the pie chart. And if you click on a category, it will show you how much you spent, and down below it will show you all the transactions for that category if you click on it. So great visual if you're trying to cut back and just see where your money is going. If you want more help, check out my course Monarch Money 101 with more detailed videos, or you can watch that video of the steps for Monarch I recommended right up there. Thanks so much for watching. See you in the next video.